I see it's recording. All right, very good.
Okay.
So welcome everybody to the final chapter in the series, Options to Grow Your Business Outside of Social Media. We've had a great series, and our finality tonight is going to be pretty exciting. And Rita, why don't you share what the topic's going to be for tonight?
Sure. I'm so excited for this topic because this is one of the ways that I started my business. So it's growing your business with networking groups, which is wonderful. And there's many of those. And our presenter tonight is Susan Pallas. And I'm so excited for you to hear her because she is so bubbly. And I love just to listen to her. And she is a global director with Take Shape for Life. So please welcome Susan Pallas.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks, Dom and Rita, for hosting these events, and thanks, Ron, and for partnering with you guys to do it, and Joe and Ken and Margaret, Mark for presenting. These are such great ways that we can grow our business again. And I've used social. Didn't use social media. I've used business networking for a while, and I've got some rock star leaders from my team that are going to help me share with you guys tonight. So, what is it? One of the things that this series has been about is making connections, and social media is a way to make connections. It's a way to generate interest. It doesn't mean that that's the invitation to somebody. And that's the same thing with our networking groups, that we're just making connections and generating interest in a group of people to talk with. So not gossiping, we're networking, and it's really all about making relationships. Bottom line, if you want to end the call now, you can. I'm not going to say much more, but making relationships and developing them. And I got started when I took becoming a professional health coach. Dan Bell taught us we're a professional health coach, and Dr. A, that we were professionals. And so I, have to be honest that when, like Ron and Joe, like they're really good at talking with people. Like just Ron can make friends anywhere, anytime, anyhow. I can't. And my house is never clean enough, or can't find enough chairs to have people over. It would stress me out. So this was a way I followed other professionals, and I said, what do they do to get clients? What does a doctor do? What does a lawyer do? What does a psychologist do? Massage therapist do? And I asked a business coach, I said, well, what do you know about BNI, Business Networking International as a group? And she says, if you're serious about growing your business, you join BNI Group. And I have been a member of a BNI group for 6 years, but I did other groups before that. And I also encourage really all the executive directors on my team. I encourage them all to do it. All of them do it. They may or may not like it. And they may stop doing it and do other things. But I have to say, they have developed really strong leader businesses for a long time. And that makes me a strong global for a long time. So I really think that this method of generating interest and creating contacts is a really powerful way to create stability. You're going to hear more from other people in a few minutes. So really, what is it about networking? And this is by Ivan Misner, who is the creator of BNI, the founder of BNI, and this is the purpose. And does this look familiar? I mean, is this what we're all about as coaches, and how we cultivate relationships for our business? And networking is just one way to do that. Different kinds of networking groups. If you Google networking groups in business networking in your area, whether it's your city, your county, you can even Google networking groups on your street and probably find something. And so look for that and just, start checking them out. And you have to, like I say, kiss a lot of frogs or look for a lot of things before you maybe find something that really resonates with you. So why would we do this? And it can be, because it can be uncomfortable, and, I don't know, y'all aren't old enough. When you single parties, like you go to group single parties before the internet dating and stuff like that was kind of awkward, and you're kind of awkward walking in sometimes, but there's a lot of, it's a process. So anyway, it generates interest and helps grow your business. And you meet prospective clients and coaches. It increases the sphere of influence. You develop really good skills that help you in every area of your life. And you engage with successful people. You know, they say that you're the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so hanging around people that are entrepreneurs, that are growing their business, that have invested time to even be there is really very powerful. And there's an accountability there, because we all want to, you know, go out and, you know, maybe do some cold calls, go out and meet new people. But do we? No. I mean, you know, and that's why I work out with Nicole as a trainer. Can I exercise by myself? Yes. Will I? No. And so I have to put something into place that will cause me to get results. And that's what this is. And develop relationships, build trust. You know, we forget that our warm market is successful for a reason, because they trust us. But it takes time to develop trust, to build relationships. And in this environment, you're able to do it in a pretty systematic way. And so me, I'm a big believer that we were, an opportunity to be more often, I'm a big believer that we were all brings a gift to this earth that no one who ever lived before and no one who will ever live again can bring. And it's not only what you do, it's who you're being. And Take Shape for Life is this amazing vehicle to help us become more of ourselves. And I believe that being in networking groups gives us more of an opportunity to be ourselves in a different pond. So I love watching people become and gain skills and develop confidence and become more of themselves. So I'm going to just, let's see where I'm going to go here. Yeah, this is a real important topic. But before we go here, Nicole, would you unmute yourself and would you share your maybe skepticism about joining a networking group and what you gained from it? Nicole is an integrated national director on our team.
Thanks, Susan. Yes, I was actually invited to BNI by Susan. And quick story about she and I, she actually was the first person to introduce Take Shape for Life to me at the YMCA. I had been personal training for about 4 years at that time. Couldn't find a personal training job at the time, so it was cleaning equipment. She said, you know, you should check into this. And I was, nah. So about a year later, a registered dietitian talked to me about it, made a connection, and was able to start helping my mom, and ended up, lo and behold, I was on Susan's team anyway, which was as Providence would have it. And I don't believe in us things that are just our happenstance. It was definitely meant to be connected to her as my business coach and leader, and couldn't be more thrilled to have her influence and leadership in my life. So I was very open then to go to BNI with her. I did go kicking and screaming, especially when they told me I had to stand up and talk about myself for 60 seconds. And I am very comfortable talking in front of people, but not necessarily about what I do. It was hard for me to put into words exactly what I do, especially if you give me a time limit. So it was very good for me to continue going, though I was skeptical about the commitment. Every Tuesday morning, an hour and a half, I have 4 kids. I have a personal training business. Are you crazy? I'm going to take up prime time to do this. And so after making the commitment, 5 months of subbing, I will tell you, I was very reluctant. And we find that in our clients as well. Their reluctance is because they're unsure of the end result. And I was unsure. And I think I'm allowed to share that after I joined BNI, my first year, I closed over $20,000 in business between personal training and Take Shape for Life. So it definitely works. And the relationships that I cultivated in that group were not necessarily just business related. They became like a family to me. And along the way, you find ways to have relationship outside of this networking group. And so you never know who the people that you meet and connect with, who they know that are meant to know you. And that's what I find is most important about networking, and really making the commitment to the structure. That's what I was skeptical about. Something about authority telling me what I had to do. I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I'm not going to be told where I have to show up and I have to turn in. Like, the great thing about BNI compared to other networking groups is they have a structure, a standard of you show up for your meeting and you either bring a referral or a one-to-one. So you're actually, they log the results that you bring. And so there was a little reluctance around that as well. But I find that just like our clients in our business, when we have a systematic approach, which is what a networking group is, they have a systematic structure that when you follow it, you will get these results. And so that was my experience in going from reluctance to understanding that in order to take my business from being a hobby to being a professional business, that was what I needed to do, is to have that systematic structure in place.
Thanks so much, Nicole. It's been so much fun and developing that relationship, as long as being a trainer, being a health coach, and then being a professional in BNI together. So it's been great. Thank you so much. So this is really an important thing. The real networking is about generosity, because we always go, what are we going to get? And that's what I did. And I remember that someone sat me down after my first meeting and they go, you know, you're really here to like give to. And, you know, and so it was really kind of eye-opening for me to, you know, because we're investing a lot of money, we're investing a lot of time, but as we know, that there's a big currency about connecting people. There is such a goodwill and good feelings when you can make someone else further their business and their passion. So there's different types of groups. There's an open group, which is business associations, chambers. I'm going to tell you a little bit about those. Closed groups, BNI, Power Core. That means that there's only one person per member. Like Nicole was the only personal trainer. I was a weight loss coach in mine because there's a health coach there. She is a Shaklee representative, and so I had the weight loss seat. So I'm a weight loss coach. And so but they're closed. Only one person in each seat can come. And then there's membership groups, Rotary, Junior League, professional organizations, so many types. Open group considerations, you know, they're very easy to get involved with. There's any meeting every night of the week, business after hours, the chamber always holds one. They're low cost to participate. You can just go and show up. There's minimal time commitment. You don't have to show up every Tuesday. Meet lots of people, opportunity to practice your, you know, elevator speech. You get to see how you interact with people, practice. It's not industry exclusive. You can see another health coach. There's less opportunity to develop relationships and trust. If you meet once a month to an open group, you don't know who's going to be there the next month. And there's less of a showcase. Not everyone's listening to you or watching you. It's who you meet. And there's little accountability or structure. You don't feel like going, you don't go. So that's good and bad, right? And so ways to do open networking groups well. You want to create a clear goal. When I started going to open networking groups, I'm going to meet with I'm going to talk to 3 people and make 3 connections when I'm there. And so I remember one I was going to, I only had 2 and it was almost over. So I went up to get coffee and just kind of stood around talking, you know, and there's a man there and started a conversation. And it turns out he was a physician, a family practice doctor in my area. And he, you know, we had a lot of rapport. He had interested in what we were doing together. And he told me to, you know, call. He gave me the name of who he should call. But I didn't follow this next rule that create a time to meet again when you're there, because I never got past his gatekeeper. And so really and truly have your calendar and set up the time before you leave, because follow-up is key and you never know when you're going to get the chance again. And again, that's cliche, be interested instead of, you know, interesting, and be curious. And the way that you can get someone to meet with you again is that you have something for them. You know, many times people won't meet with you if they think you're going to sell them or pitch them. So, and you don't have enough time to really develop that relationship. So really think about how you can help them. This is closed group considerations. So you have an exclusive seat. Like Nicole said, you're the only one. There's structured guidelines. Yes, we all kind of resist structure. People think, oh my God, it's just so many rules, but they get results. It's an investment. You are going to be investing at least, you know, whether it be $300, $500, and then sometimes it can be up to $800 a year with the room dues and things like that. But if you break that down, it's about $60, $70 a month. And even a brand new coach can really think about one new client, every month for a year can really make a difference. We're going to share with you some results in a few minutes, but it's really an investment, and other people are investing too, so you have a different quality of people. Accountability. If you're going to be looking at networking groups, the accountability is really important. And ask how they measure referrals, how they measure business closed. Because I've been in networking groups. I see Joel and Audrey on the line. We were in the Y in networking group. And if they don't keep score, you want to help other people, but I'm sorry, you're just busy. It's just not a priority. But if someone's keeping track and measuring results, you're going to make that extra phone call. You're going to talk to somebody a little bit more to try and connect somebody else. And it just really makes a difference. Giver's gain philosophy. Again, if you can go in with the attitude of giving, it's not an easy attitude to go in with, I will say. We think we are, but we're really not. And focus on building relationships. Again, how do we deepen relationships? We can meet a lot of people, but if we focus, and Ron's always taught me this with my business, focus deep. And that's have a few really good contacts that you can refer to over and over again that trust you and will refer to you. And then, expanding your network of people, and developing skills, in education. And Cindy Trow, would you talk a little bit about developing the skills? Cindy was a teacher for 30 years. She's never been an entrepreneur before. Brand new health coach. She's executive director. She's done really well. And Cindy, can you unmute yourself?
Yes. Okay, so for me, 30 years of being a teacher, networking groups has been a wonderful environment. It has been my classroom environment where I get to learn how to be a networker, how to be an entrepreneur. I had no training whatsoever in either of those two things. And what I found was that there are a lot of mentors there. There are a lot of successful people in a lot of different backgrounds who are so happy to share how to be an entrepreneur, how to network better. I found networking groups that strictly focus on not a set structure of a 60-second speech, but how to posture yourself in a way that will make you stand out from a group. So every week there's a different focus, and I've really been able to learn some very valuable lessons within the group.
And Cindy,
and in addition, sorry, I lost the audio piece there.
You're there.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The other piece of that is the one-on-ones have been extremely valuable for me because, again, as we talk about deepening relationships and really getting a common understanding for each other's business, I think it's a place where there's a lot less distraction, a lot more focus on each other and learning the other person better. And within that, it's kind of been very inspirational for me and a very powerful place for me to give and receive and help each other grow each other's business with great ideas.
Great. Yeah, Cindy's name of her business is called Partners in Health. So she, developing these partnerships. And Cindy, I don't know if we can still hear you, but Cindy, can you talk? You're losing connection, so I want to just going to brag on Cindy. She will wake up. She says, "Oh man, 5 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to wake up and go." And she's checking out a lot of different ones. And she says, "But I went." It's like when I was a teacher and I wanted to run before work. I didn't even think, should I do it or should I not do it? I just did it. And that's how she is with networking groups. And I have to say that as a business coach, when someone is going to those lengths to further themselves, how much time are you going to spend with them? A lot. And that really, so it's been so now I know where her desire and her commitment is. So it's a really great indication of, what your commitment is to growing. So it's been great. Cindy, thank you. And so ways to do this well, we've already talked about focusing on relationships rather than transactions. You know, you're not just trying to sell to this group of people, you're trying to get referrals from people they know. And it's really cool when you get a referral from a referral, like if you can, sometimes it's 3 or 4 deep. Someone refers you to their sister, refers you to their friend, refers you to someone else. So cool. And then you seek to serve. How can you help others? And, you know, invest in the process. Nicole said it really well. There is a process. You might not like it. Go with it. Just like we do at Take Shape for Life. You know, understand that it takes time. There is a good 6 to 8 months. Dee's going to share a little bit about that. It takes time to develop relationships for people to trust you to refer. The people that refer to you really easily and really right off the bat are people that refer to everybody. They're the really nice ones. But I got to tell you, you know, and you really want that, but then you really don't. They're not good clients because they're not really committed. They're doing it because you're here and they're going to give you a referral, but they're not great clients in the long run. So you want quality over quality. And volunteer for a leadership role. I resisted that for a long time, but it really does, again, deepen relationships with people. They know you in a different realm and they know they can trust you. One-to-ones, what Cindy says is you meet with people outside of the group. That's really what you have to do to really maximize the benefit. There was a lawyer who came into our group and he set out a goal to have a one-to-one coffee, an hour coffee with everybody in the group. That year, his first year, he was the highest earner of everybody. So it really does work. If I had to start my business all over again, I'd join a BNI, I do a one-to-one every single day for 3 months. Visit other groups, you can do that. And then, you know, gain interest, like Cindy said, you know, you're looking for people who you can connect with, who you resonate with in terms of a problem. Like, you know, sometimes I'll talk about a woman who has a thyroid issue, has never been able to lose weight, and then has. And so then people think, oh, I know somebody like that. So, and then size matters. You want to really, there's like a threshold. Bigger groups, these closed BNI groups, the more people they have, the more business is passed. So it looks like about, you know, about 30 is a good number. And Dee, would you please share? Dee is a kind of a rock star in the BNI world and just really had a great experience. So can you take yourself off mute?
Sure, I did. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Networking has been a really big part of my business for a number of reasons. And I started in 2011, so I guess 5 years. And I came into this as a business. I went on the program, but I didn't come in as a client with a big weight loss story where people were, you know, knocking my door down to go on the program. I'm actually an introvert, so I didn't have a real huge sphere of influence. My kids were grown, so some of those groups that I could interact with weren't, you know, right there. And I also came from a corporate background and had some sales experience. So I was very comfortable getting into a professional environment. So that felt very comfortable to me, but awkward at the same time, like Susan said. So I think the number one thing I would say is that it is a skill that has to be developed. We don't just walk in and we're not professional networkers. And it requires patience because we have to get better. We have to get better at connecting with people and starting to understand the process. And then it just, like you said, takes time for people to trust us and understand us. I really find with what we do, it's very difficult for people to understand in just a quick face-to-face conversation. If it's an open networking group or even doing a 60-second in a closed group, it's very difficult for them to understand what we do. So as was mentioned, the one-to-one, sitting down with coffee, I can actually get to know the other person, understand their business, ask them what's good referrals. And then I usually find that what holds them back is they're not quite sure how to talk to their sister who's overweight about me. So we talk that out. But from an experience standpoint, I've done a lot of both. I started with open networking. It was great for gaining my skills and confidence and talking about the business and who I am. And then I moved in reluctantly, like Nicole said, into the to BNI, which is the structured. And I think simply because, like, we know our program works because of structure and accountability, it's why our clients get results. I think that outcome can actually come from a closed networking group as well. In the past about 4.5 years, I've belonged to 2 different groups. And the only reason I changed from my first group, it was a very good group. It was actually the highest referring group in our region. there was a chiropractor in the group, and he went on the program, was successful, lost weight, became a Take Shape for Life health coach. And even though he couldn't technically hold both seats, we just felt like it made more sense for him to be there. His office was right around the corner. And so I moved and I went to a different chapter. It was twice the size. And I really thought, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to double the referrals. And to my surprise, it took another 6 to 8 months for me to get to know people in the group. Now it was so big, I had to get to know so many people. But the ultimate outcome when it comes to numbers, and I do like BNI because we can measure, when I went back through my client list and tried to measure it up, I can attribute about 35 clients that I know of. And again, there's probably more that I don't recognize right away that were the ripple effect. 35 clients that have come through BNI. And that's about 9 to 10 orders a month for me. And we enter our closed business as commission. So that I calculated it, and it's anywhere from the upper 600s to $1,000 a commission a month. So that is nice. And then, but I've also now started to see the bigger picture with health coaching. And it has led to, I have 10 health coaches on my team, 9 that are active that came through the networking process. And again, not necessarily people in that group, although some were, but connections.
Awesome, Dee. Isn't that great? And like she's a rock star. And but there it really does pay off if you invest in the process. So let's finish up with, how do we do a 60-second? This is me doing one. This is my, you get to talk for 10 minutes. But anyway, I'm gonna have Nicole, why don't you finish up, and would you just give us an example of 45, 60-second, what does that look like? What does it sound like?
I totally thought you'd call on Dee for this one. Okay.
Yeah, right?
Well, what's great about doing your 60-second is that you can each week talk about a different story and intrigue people about what you have to offer in lots of different ways. So here we go. Good evening. My name is Nicole DeWard. I'm a certified health coach with Take Shape for Life. And I like to inspire, ignite, and influence many to optimal health. I met Allison about 5 years ago when I was a personal trainer with no systematic structure like I have now with Take Shape for Life. And I was able to help her get strong, and she was losing weight using Weight Watchers points. And she was really excited about the fact that she had lost weight. And so I ended up leaving the gym that I met her at, and she stayed there. Come to find out, she gained not 40 pounds back, but gained 60 pounds back. And we reconnected. She found out about Take Shape for Life. And she not only has gone on program, lost all of her weight, she is now in the best shape of her life because she had a systematic structure in order for her not only to lose weight, but be able to exercise appropriately to what she needed for herself and her goals, and also be able to reintroduce food back into her life, maintaining accountability and encouragement from me, not only as her health coach, but as her trainer as well. So a great referral for me is someone who's working out, finding that they're having some results, but maybe they don't have any clue what to do for exercise. They have no clue how to incorporate the food and the workouts together. They're finding themselves be tired and storing extra fat around the middle. My name is Nicole DeWard, and I'm a certified health coach with Take Shape for Life, and I'm excited to work with your friends and family and inspire, ignite, and influence them to optimal health.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much. All right, well, let's, perfect. So thank you guys. I hope this was helpful, valuable, and remember, it's all about making connections. And thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you again, Ron, Dom, and Rita, and thanks Cindy, Nicole, and Dee for inspiring me daily. Good night, everybody.
Well, good night. Great job, Susan. I mean, amazing. First of all, I want to thank everyone in this series that have participated. I want to thank Ron Gels and all of his leaders in his organization for this joint venture. Rita and I are very excited to work with you guys, looking forward to working together on more projects. Right now, save the date, Thursday, September 22nd. It's going to be probably maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. I'm not sure at the time yet. We're going to have Dan Bell join us on this series, and it's going to be really amazing. So we're our common mentor of all of us here on this Zoom. So we're excited about that, and we'll keep you updated. And so looking forward to what our next chapter will be and these series of joint ventures.
Yes.
Great job.
Thank you all so much. We so appreciate all of you. And have a great night, and see you soon.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Down here.